Now far side, Tuukka Korhonen comes down to Juuso Lehtiniemi. Mile Mothaler. Just under 5 minutes have passed here in the first period here between the Aviators and Growlers. Still an even-looking matchup so far. This one having wide-ranging playoff implications as both of these teams are around the middle of the pack here in the chase for the Troy Cup as we head towards the third week of play here in the NAFL. This is our last game from Clarksville, Tennessee, as we get ready to hit the road to Duluth, Minnesota to close out the 2024 NAFL season. Lehtiniemi far side to his brother Eetu Lehtiniemi. Cross court looking for Bjernanen, but Mellons behind the passing lane. He gets it to Philip Lundmark. Lundmark, the pass behind himself, goes off the foot of Pasi Arvinen. Tuukka Korhonen goes across. Eetu Lehtiniemi, shot from deep, saved by Peter Slad. Now Lundmark at half court. Spin around, broken up there by Bjernanen. Felix Osterstrom passes it off to Grenoble as both teams bring out substitutions. Justin Knight goes to Walsh at the point. Lehtinen releasing and pressing. A lot of aggression here from this Growlers defense, but he's able to get it down the boards. Justin Knight to Matt Smith. Smith to Grenoble. Looking for Alejandro, deflected by Hiltunen. Lehtinen driving down, the pass to Tita Salakangas, broken up by Matt Smith, facing the double team. Hiltunen misses the shot attempt. Improper timing. Now Julius Salakangas, the pass behind himself to Yipa Alroila. Lehtinen and Salakangas working the far side. Shot attempt goes off the body of Taylor Walsh. The Aviators surviving by inches there on the Minnesota Growlers offensive. Matt Alejandro missing the shot attempt. The ball chipped up. Knight looking for a man to pass to. Will go to Grenoble. Sent to the far boards. Grenoble will put it back around the bend, and it comes to Matt Smith, number 61. No shots on goal yet for the Ohio Aviators. With that, it'll be a free hit. New squads coming out for both teams. Third line out for the Aviators. It'll be number 11. Albin Nilsson. He goes with the pass to Hannes Carlson. Eetu Vanjapa playing up there on defense for the Growlers. Nilsson breaking it down the boards to Kalle Harstedt. Shot from deep, goes off the leg there of Tom Fuchter. Far side, Valtteri Rantala, shot from deep. Misses the left post. Off the boards, it's still in bounds. Fuchter gets it out to Marcus Lane. Eetu Vanjapa, back to Lane. Far side, he'll chip it around. El Pistolero, Hannes Carlson. Back over to Line. Now to Valtteri Rantala once more as he comes into the center lane. He'll pass back. Far side, Line again. Hannes Carlson creeping up the up man here in the 1-2-2 defense. Won't be able to cut off the passing lane, however. Line far side. Now Tuukka Korhonen coming in. Korhonen at midcourt, pausing as the rest of his squad comes out onto the court. He'll have Juuso Lehtiniemi down to Bjernanen. Back over to Korhonen. Cross court finds Bjernanen looking to Mile Mothaler. It's good! Off of the Mile Mothaler goal. Recovery by Minnesota on the faceoff. Your score with just over 12 minutes remaining in the first period. It's Ohio Aviators 0, Minnesota Growlers 1. Julius Salakangas off the backboard, Silmari Lehtinen. Chipped up out of the air there by Kalle Harstedt. It'll sail out of bounds and be a Minnesota Growlers hit-in. Tita Salakangas. with the pass to Julius Salakangas with a close call there for the Aviators defense, but now the ball going down deep to Philip Lundmark. Pursued by Al Royla and Salakangas. He'll go down to the boards off the push. It's going to be a free hit for Ohio. Philip Lundmark, number 8, set to take it. Come to Kalle Harstedt, the pass behind himself, finds Zach Mellon looking to Kalle Brorsen. That'll go high out of bounds. Minnesota hit it. To Vanyonpa, number 2 for the Minnesota Growlers, taking it. They go back to line. Losing some control, Andreas Blixt, number 24, able to come away with it there and force an error. Andreas Blixt, he's owner-operator and coach of his Aviators squad. And now the up man on his defense, able to create a look there for the Aviators as they look to take flight in the house that Blixt built. Vanyonpa at the point. Facing pressure still from Blixt. Grenipen as well will send it down to Hugo Rovinen. Chipped away by Walsh on the pass. He'll come to Justin Knight. Knight to Walsh. He'll come down cross court. Grenipen back to Knight. Fuchter on the press. Still able to get the ball over to Walsh. He'll send it down the line to Matt Smith. Smith looking for Blixt in the center lane. Chipped by Rovinen. Valtteri Rantala able to get it to Vanyonpa. Grenipen with the full press. Not giving the Growlers the comfort they need to make a full substitution. Now he'll back off as the next line comes in. Mile Mothaler with the ball here for the Growlers. Off the backboards, he passes to Tuukka Korhonen. Korhonen in the center to Björninen. He spins and creates some space. Now Letanimi to Marthaler. To Letanimi to Marthaler. User Letanimi on the close wing. Chipped away by Nilsson. Albin Nilsson, number 11, the NAFL veteran, trying to break it out. Play's going to be stopped there. Free hit for the Aviators. Less than 10 minutes remaining in the first period. Now officially in the second half of the first year, the Aviators still scoreless. But the Growlers off to a slower start than they would have hoped for. The Growlers have had several phenomenal games here in the second week, including perhaps their biggest win yet, an upset victory over the then reigning leaders in playoff rankings, Texas 39ers. Chipped away there by Kalle Harstedt. Losing some control. He'll go outside. Juuso Letanimi losing control there. He'll have it on the far side after his brother Eetu Letanimi had some physical play with Kalle Harstedt. Albin Nilsson now for the Aviators. The pass to Hannes Carlson. A loose side to the ball behind him. Advantage granted to Minnesota as Tuukka Korhonen's able to break the ball out. It'll roll to Pasi Arvinen. We'll go to Mile Marthaler. Paul Roila, captain of the Growlers squad for the second year in a row, will come with a pass to Julius Salakangas. Back to Roila. Hiltonen now in the center lane. Passes to Julius Salakangas. Far side, Elmari Lehtinen. Sweeping around to Hiltonen. Around the goal line, looking across the crease to Tita Salakangas. Julius Salakangas. Al Roila across. Tita Salakangas sends it back down. Minnesota looking to recover here and restart their passing offense. They haven't been able to get the cross-court looks that they normally love for their scoring opportunities. But now speeding up the passing, and Tuukka Hiltonen able to put one away. And the Growlers extending their lead early. It's Lehtinen on the far side. Down Roila to Tita Salakangas in the center after the ball was chipped. It gave Tuukka Hiltonen an angle around Felix Österström. now after that goal, with less than 8 minutes remaining in the first period, your score, Ohio Aviators 0, Minnesota Growlers 2. Buchter fighting to get around Osterstrom. Advantage granted to Minnesota here. Far side, Hugo Rovinen to Marcus Lane. Chipped up off the leg of Colin Brorsen. It goes to Peter Slad, sending it all the way down deep in Growlers territory. Philip Lundmark fighting to maintain possession. He'll chip the ball out to Osterstrom. Justin Knight, the Knight Rider, at the point here for the Ohio Aviators. He'll pass to Taylor Walsh, fellow Canadian. Knight far side, he'll pass back down to Walsh. He'll come in looking for Zach Mellon. Chip to the boards, Philip Lundmark. Looking to Brorsen. Bjernanen able to send it around the boards to his man, Juuso Lehtiniemi. Far side, Tuukka Korhonen. We'll go down Thaler in Aviators territory. Minnesota picking up the pace here. Korhonen. Taking pause, so go to Lehtiniemi. Bjernanen, close side. Back out to Lehtiniemi. Korhonen. Back behind himself. The chip away by Alejandro. Matt Smith holding on to the ball. He'll come to Justin Knight. Close wing, looking across to Walsh at the edge of the crease. Chipped away by Korhonen. Mathaler able to keep the ball in bounds, but he's not going to have an easy break yet as Matt Smith able to break it down. Matt Smith, of course, a heavy production player for the Aviators when it comes to defensive and offensive looks. He's great both ways, both sides of the ball. In his third year in the NAFL, he's a veteran here, playing for the Fresno Force the last 2 seasons. He made the switch to the Aviators this year and brought a lot of his Canadian teammates with him. Alejandro, pass to Grenapin, chipped away. Bjernanen with speed on the wing around Justin Knight. Unable to get the shot attempt off, but you can hear the hoops and hollers of his Minnesota teammates watching those smooth moves unfold. Yipao Roila going behind his own goal here. Taking pause still. Julius Salakangas coming onto the court with that. He'll pass down to Salakangas. Alejandro releasing. Fast passing, but Hilton unable to get a shot attempt off there. Korsmach to Harstedt. Heavy pressure. Elimari Lehtinen able to ship the ball over to the corner. He'll get it to Matt Smith. Back around to Colin Harstedt. A mixed match line here for the Aviators now. Colin Harstedt pausing, allowing the rest of his line to come onto the court. Sebastian Åkesson in the center. He'll find Nilsson. Far side to Kortmans. Looking to Hannes Karlsson inside the crease. Unable to get it there. Karlsson off the backboards. Finds Åkesson. Alroila now going to the court with an apparent injury. He's going to draw a free hit. He'll be able to get back up to his feet. Less than 5 minutes remain in the first period between the Aviators and the Growlers. Julius Salakangas, the pass far side to Tuukka Hiltunen. Hiltunen to Alroila. Far side to Ilmari Lehtinen. Alroila coming in the center lane now. The pass to Salakangas. Far side, Lehtinen. Chips it around, Kortmach. Alroila unable to get there now. Nilsson on the fast break. That ball going off the legs of Salakangas. He's still trying to come around with it. Nilsson shot off the legs of Julius Salakangas. He's still pursuing the ball, sending him the ball, and Alroila all to the boards. It's going to be a hit here for the Minnesota Growlers. Juuso Lehtiniemi set to take the ball here for Minnesota. We're already seeing some physical play early. Of course, the last time these two teams met, it was an intense matchup going to a penalty shootout that Minnesota won narrowly over the Ohio Aviators. The whole match, it was physical, intense, dedicated play as the rivalry in the making continues. Kalle Harstedt facing pressure there from Lyle Mothaler. Now he'll release. 3.5 minutes left in the first. Zach Mellon who many call the first ballot Hall of Famer here in the NAFL. With the pass to Harderstedt, far side, Oosterstrom to Brorsen, back to Oosterstrom, down to Harderstedt. Looking down deep, Zach Mellon showing why he's first ballot. He got a beautiful look across the front of the crease, and he didn't hesitate once he found it. That ball was sent down deep. Zach Mellon from the top of the crease with a smooth backhand look went over the head of Pasi Arvinen. And after that Zach Mellon goal with 3 minutes, 13 seconds remaining in the first period, your score now, Ohio Aviators 1, Minnesota Growlers 2. Recovery on the faceoff by the Growlers, Alroila and Hiltonen far side. Alroila sends it deep, looking to Lehtinen, but it's chipped up and around. Schlad with a dive to grab it. He'll get it to Alejandro around half court. Chipped by Salakangas, but Grenapin there on the recovery. Grenapin ball sails out of bounds, rebounded off the body of number 26, Tuukka Hiltonen. Matt Smith. Justin Knight looking for Grenapin. Shipped up by Alroila. Alroila to Tita Salakangas. Cross to Hiltonen. To Alroila! It's good! Jeppe Alroila puts one away from close range for the Minnesota Growlers to re-extend their lead. Alroila never stopped running there on the break. He was able to fade past every Aviator defender. He was waiting at the corner of the box. And the captain leading his team back up to a 2-point lead against the Ohio Aviators. Off that Alroila goal, 2:41 left in the first. It's Aviators 1, Growlers 3. Tuukka Korhonen far side. Got a look for Mothaler, chipped by Åkesson and Nilsson. Now in center lane, Emily Björnen gets it back down to Korhonen. Jusoletinimi across to Emily Björnen and saved by Peter Schlad. Åkesson. He'll find El Pistolero, Hannes Carlson. Åkesson able to chip it in with a quick response there by the Ohio Aviators. A beautiful goal by Sebastian Åkesson from the close side. Seems like every goal today has been from close range. It was a race down. Nilsson chipped it, and Åkesson, coming to the end of his fast break run, was able to connect with the ball. And off the Åkesson goal, 2 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in the first period. And the Aviators narrowing the lead again. Your score, Ohio 2, Minnesota 3. Recovery on the faceoff by the Growlers. Hiltonen to Alroila, down to Julia Salakangas. Back over to Alroila. No one in the center here for Minnesota, staying strictly on the perimeter for the time being. Tita Salakangas, close side. Pass back out, far side, Jeppe Alroila. Into Hiltonen. Looking for a man to pass to. Spinning around, facing a double team on the boards. Oosterstrom trying to come away with it with support from Kalle Brorsen, number 17. Elamari Lehtinen there to help out his man Hiltonen. It's going to end in a free hit awarded to the Ohio Aviators with 1.5 minutes left on the clock in the first. Kalle Harstedt looks down deep, finds Brorsen, shot just wide right off the board. Zach Mellon there to recover. Mellon to Lundmark, trying to break it out on the far wing. Lehtinen chipping it away. Looks like an unfortunate hit there to Julia Salakangas. But he's going to stay on the court. Brorsen to Lundmark, back to Brorsen. The shot sailing high, out of bounds. They're going to say there was contact on Minnesota. It'll be a hit in for the Ohio Aviators. Lundmark taking the ball from Brorsen. Off the boards, Felix Osterstrom. Down to Kalle Harstedt. Lundmark to Harstedt. They'll go cross court to Kalle Brorsen. Looking for Lundmark, stolen by Julius Salakangas. Close side, Dita Salakangas. The pass to Lehtinen, saved by Peter Slad. 50 seconds left on the clock. Can Ohio equalize before the end of the first period? Philip Lundmark behind the Minnesota goal. He'll pass to Brorsen, back to Lundmark. Looking across to Mellon, unable to get the shot attempt off. That ball rolling into the hands of Pasi Arvin, and 30 seconds left on the clock. Minnesota with 4 times the amount of shots on goal, but every shot on goal the Aviators have had, they've converted on. Järninen behind himself to Mathaler. Auruela. Pausing, passing to Mathaler. 10 seconds on the clock. Korhonen, close wing, cross court, finds Mathaler. Over to Järninen, less than 5 seconds. Korhonen, last shot attempt deflected off the body of Justin Knight. What a hard-fought first period, Floorball fans. It's a close match, and it looks to stay that way. You're not going to want to miss the second period of action here between the Aviators and the Growlers. Your score at the end of 1, Ohio 2, Minnesota 3. We'll be back in less than 10 minutes with this second period of action here live from F&M Bank Arena in Clarksville, Tennessee. And of course, stay tuned during the intermission as we bring you another exclusive NAFL player interview. The NAFL, we've just gotten done with the first period of play here between the Growlers and the Aviators. I'm joined here by number 92, Dita Salakangas. How are you feeling after the first?
I'm feeling good, still good, like every other day. So it's fun to play football, and we are scoring still a lot of goals, so I like it.
Where do you think the most success for Ohio has come? Obviously, keeping it a close game with 2 goals, what do you think has been their key to success?
Well, I think we have been like a bit not so like aggressive and that. So I think we need need to be better in that way. So they're getting frustrated and then we go like our own way.
And obviously, a lot of your offense is based off this intricate passing system. You love passing the ball fast, cross-court, before goal-scoring opportunities. What are you going to do to try and create more of those as you look ahead to the second and third period?
Maybe just focus on the simple things like better passes and try to keep the ball in the ground, so we don't have to pass like this high passes. So I think it's better than to shoot the goal. So I think that's the way.
Well, best of luck in the second period, Titus. Thanks so much for joining us. Floorball fans, don't worry. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the second period between the Growlers and the Aviators. Welcome back, Floorball fans, as we get set to head back down to the court for the second period of play between the Aviators and the Growlers. But first, we'd like to remind you about our sponsors. First off, the Finnish Bistro. The Finnish Bistro is a beloved local gym offering a full-service coffee bar, authentic European cuisine, and a delightful bakery. Whether you're in the mood for a rich cup of coffee, a delectable pastry, or a hearty European meal, the Finnish Bistro has something to satisfy every palate. Located at 2264 Como Avenue in St. Paul, Minnesota, we invite you to explore the delicious offerings at the Finnish Bistro. There's also our official clothing partner for the 2024 season, Kempa. If you like what our referees are wearing, then you like Kempa. And finally, our floorball partnership for the 2024 season with Fat Pipe. Every floorball you see on an NAFL court this season is Fat Pipe. Now, as we get ready to resume play, it's perhaps a closer matchup than the Growlers would like here against the Aviators. What we know about the Aviators is, despite their 2-4 record coming into the match today, they're a team that really shows a lot of promise. They have a lot of returning talent to the NAFL, many 3-year veterans on this squad, and they're a team who knows how to play up and play hard, especially in the third period. They may not be the best openers, but they're a great finishing team. We've seen that time and time again. The last time these teams met, it went to the first and only penalty shootout of the 2024 season. The key for Minnesota here, they've been on a hot streak. They took down the then reigning playoff leaders, Texas 39ers, the other day, 6-4. Ever since, they had a conversation within their team about focus. This second week, it's been a night and day difference. Shot attempt by Tito Salakanga, saved by Peter Schlad. But the difference here, playing the Ohio Aviators, is these are two teams who get very intense, and whenever they meet on the court, they get very intense with each other. We saw a little bit of physical play earlier in the first period, certainly not as much as the first time these two teams met. It was a hard task for the referees to keep the match under control then. It'll be interesting to see if the Growlers play up or play down, and if the Aviators can use this as an opportunity to continue breaking into the middle of the pack, or the Growlers can use it as a chance to propel themselves closer to a second seed position in the playoff rankings. Ilmari Lehtinen looking deep for Julius Salakangas, but Schlad kicks it away. But now Tito Salakangas, his shot wide right off the boards. He has the ball again behind the goal, facing double team there. He'll get it around Kortmash to Lehtinen. He shoots and scores with some smooth moves. Ilmari Lehtinen, number 10, able to put one away from close range. Tito Salakangas had taken the ball. He got it down to Lehtinen around. Give me. And now on the hit in, it's Albin Nilsson. Hannes Carlson taking it behind the Minnesota goal. We'll get it around Björninen. To Kalle Harstedt. Shot from deep, deflected there off the body of Eetu Lehtiniemi. It'll get to Emily Björninen driving down with Schlad to beat. He makes it happen. Emily Björninen putting another one away for the Minnesota Growlers. It was after the Lehtiniemi body block and the pass going wild around Kortmach. Björninen never took a second to pause as he drove towards Peter Schlad in the box. With that, Emily Björninen putting his team with an even further lead. Your score with 13:36 remaining. It's now Ohio Aviators 2, Minnesota Growlers 6. Tuukka Hiltunen. Auroila, far side, Julia Salakangas. Back to Auroila, to Tuukka Hiltunen. Find himself, Auroila, far side, Salakangas. Looking deep for Hiltunen. Unable to get the shot off, but Lehtinen still with the ball on the wing here. Shot saved by Peter Schlad. Justin Knight now with the ball for the Aviators. He'll pass to Taylor Walsh. Grenopen will come to Knight. Lehtinen, a heavy press. Salakangas giving him some flack. He'll go to the ground. It's going to be a free hit here for the Ohio Aviators. Grenopen and Blixt set to take it. Justin Knight gets it out. Grenopen in the center. He was looking for Blixt. Dita Salakangas trying to find Lehtinen there on the fast break, but the chip going wide left. Dita Salakangas still with the ball. He tries a Zorro, goes high. High stick call. That'll be an Ohio Aviators ball. He'll take it from the front of the crease. Far side goes to Åkesson. The Minnesota Growlers have gotten a lot more offensive looks than the Ohio Aviators have. Right now, as it reads on the scoreboard, it's 3 shots on goal so far this match for the Aviators. And with that last one, it's 18 shots on goal for the Growlers. Eetu Vanjonpa, far side, deflected there by Kalle Harstedt. But now it'll go to Rovinen. Go wide. Valtteri Rantala on the shot. Sails to the point where Peter Schlad able to grab it. He passes to his man Åkesson. Now Harstedt. He'll look deep to Åkesson. He's got Hannes Carlson in center. He shoots. He scores. El Pistolero from the hip. Hannes Carlson putting one away for the Ohio Aviators. It was off the pass there from Schlad. Åkesson sent it back to Harstedt. He took his time, waiting to find the right opportunity. Åkesson saw Carlson in the wing. Every defender was split around him, not in front of him. He sent it in with ease from mid-range. After the Hannes Carlson goal, with 11:45 remaining, your score, Aviators 3, Minnesota Growlers 6. As the Aviators cut down the Minnesota lead and looking to make a comeback as we head towards the second half of this period. Minnesota came out in a very decisive manner, re-extending their lead and coming out with a lot more focus than they had in the first period against the Aviators. But now the play getting a little more physical there back towards the boards. Björninen losing it, but Lundmark unable to come away with it. The ball gets out to Kalle Harstedt, chips it around, goes to Zach Mellon, far side, looking for a man to pass to. It's deflected by Björninen, but it still finds Harstedt. Deep, Lundmark to Mellon, unable to get the backhand shot off. Battle on the boards. It'll come to Tuukka Korhonen. Stolen by Osterstrom. Brorsen to Mellon. The shot deflected by Mile Mothaler. Letanimi's ball goes off the chest to Kalle Harstedt. He'll go far side to Philip Lundmark. Slap shot from deep. Saved by Arvinen, as well as the attempt on the rebound by Zach Mellon. Emily Bjerrinen gets it down to Tuukka Korhonen. Julia Salakangas. Come down to Jipa Roila. Tuukka Hiltunen. Goes far side to Julia Salakangas. Ilmari Lehtinen behind the goal line. Trying to get the angle around Justin Knight. Goes to Tita Salakangas. Ilmari Lehtinen losing sight of the ball as he tried to drive through Justin Knight. Hannes Karlsson to Cedric Grenapin. Järvinen able to get there before Grenapin can. He'll pass it to his side to captain Jipa Roila. As Julia Salakangas passes to Hiltunen. Now officially less than 10 minutes remaining in the second period. That means we are in the second half of this matchup. Aviators still facing that 3-goal deficit against the Growlers. Salakangas coming around behind the goal with some velocity. He'll go off the boards. Julia Salakangas shot deflected off the body of Åkesson. Now Roila once again at the point. He'll get ready to pass it off as the new line comes on, but Hannes Karlsson pursuing him to the crease. Bjerrinen facing Karlsson from behind. Now he'll come off as well and bring Philip Lundmark onto the court for the Aviators. Juuso Lehtiniemi coming out from behind his own goal. Philip Lundmark, number 8, the upman here for the Aviators. Cross court, Bjerrinen to Lehtiniemi. Tuukka Korhonen back to Lehtiniemi. Brorsen, aggressive defense on the boards. The ball chipped up out of bounds. It's going to be a hit in here for the Minnesota Growlers with 9:01 left on the clock. The ball rolling to the corner. Nilsson on Lehtiniemi with support from Brorsen. He'll chip the ball out. Korhonen was trying to break it there out of the crease, but Schlad kicked it away. It's going to be awarded here to the Aviators to end the Minnesota Growlers offensive. Kalle Harstedt now. The pass to Albin Nilsson. Ohio slowing their game down a bit here, but now Harstedt creeping closer towards half court. It'll go Mellon now down the line to Lundmark. Trying to get the angle around Salakangas. He'll come back to Kalle Harstedt. Shot from deep off the body of Korhonen. Mile Mothaler able to recover there. He'll pass far side, Julia Salakangas. Back down to Auroila. Tuukka Hiltunen, close side. Auroila goes to Tita Salakangas. Back to Auroila. Salakangas, far side, cross court, finds Hiltunen. Ilmari Lehtinen losing some control of the ball there on a spin sweep. He'll have to go back down to Auroila in the center. Hiltunen, far side, Julia Salakangas. Go back to Auroila. A lot of space. The defenders cleared out around him. That ball kicked by Mellon on the boards. He's able to get it around Ilmari Lehtinen. He'll come off the court as Åkesson comes on here. Osterstrom now on the close wing. Less than 7.5 minutes remaining. Åkesson to Grenapin. Chipped away by Rovinen. Åkesson getting the ball back out, but he sends it with power out of bounds. It'll be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. Marcus Lane, back to Venjonpa. Marcus Lane comes down. Valtteri Rantala shot just wide left. Nearly an open look there. Grenapin now driving down on the counterattack. The pass to Åkesson. He was looking for Karlsson. Venjonpa, great defense, chipping the ball away from the crease. Åkesson shot attempt through the legs of Lane, deflected by Arvinen. Kordmans says no to Tom Fuchter as the Aviators retake the ball. Chipped away by Valtteri Rantala. Grenapin at half court. Chipped by Fuchter. Marcus Lane holding now behind his own goal. Mothaler now leading a new line out here for the Growlers as the first line returns to the court for the Aviators. Close side, Tuukka Korhonen. Down to Etrulatanimi. Over far side to Bjerninen. Letanimi. Shot from deep, saved by Peter Slad. Mellon gets it down to Gunnar Harstedt. Advantage granted here to the Aviators as the Growlers retreat. Nilsson now, close wing, pass to Brorsen. Looking across, deflected by Korhonen. Mathaler nearly sending it in off a rebound. Kalle Brorsen shot saved by Pasi Arvinen. Free hit awarded here to the Minnesota Growlers. The Aviators doing a better job getting shots on goal, but still only 7 the entire match compared to 20 for Minnesota. They've been putting Peter Slad, the goalkeeper for the Ohio Aviators, through so much today as an offense. And whenever you look at the percentages, you realize that 6 out of 20 is actually really an impressive job by Peter Slad here defending against the Growlers. He's won all NAFL honors. He's a 2-time champion of the Troy Cup. It's easy to see why the Aviators were happy to add Peter Slad to their talent. Shot from deep by Lundmark goes straight into the hands of Pasi Arvinen. The ball chipped up in the air by Lehtinen. Sent back down. Harstedt able to get the angle on Lehtinen, but he'll draw a foul. It's going to be a free hit for the Growlers. Roila, Tita Salakangas. On the far wing, trying to pass back, but it's deflected by Philip Lundmark. He's got Al Roila to beat. He'll go with a pass to Brorsen, saved by Arvinen, and Mellon just overshot the rebound attempt. Salakangas and Brorsen went to the court. Salakangas slow to get back up, but he's able to after what almost looked like a horse collar. Yipa Roila. Backing off, he passes to Bjerninen far side. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Roila to Juuso Lehtiniemi. The far side will go to Bjerninen. Behind himself, Juuso Lehtiniemi down to Korhonen. Lehtiniemi was looking for Mile Mathaler in the crease, but he had turned his back. Now Harstedt gets it out. He'll find Åkesson. Åkesson pausing around half court. He'll pass it off to Taylor Walsh. Walsh down to Knight. Knight driving down. Åkesson looking for a man. It's chipped up there by Korhonen. Lehtiniemi beating out Grenoble, boxing him out towards the boards, driving somehow past 2 Aviators before finally Justin Knight able to stop him up. Åkesson on the wing, shot attempt just saved by Järvinen. Knight's rebound attempt went on the outside of the net. Grenoble needing a man to pass to will come to Walsh. His shot wide right. Knight's going to be there to recover. He'll get around Bjerninen and the ball chipped up. A lot of spin. Takes it over the goal, but it'll bounce out of bounds, and Ohio Aviators hit in. Renapin to Åkesson. Facing pressure from behind from Mathaler. Support from Korhonen, but it's going to draw a free hit. It'll be number 91, El Pistolero, Hannes Carlson, set to take it. Carlson, ball deflected there off the legs of Tuukka Korhonen. Kick it away. Korhonen now. Close wing, spinning around. That'll draw a hit. It's going to be substitutions here for both teams as we enter the last 3.5 minutes of the second period. We'll see if Ohio can use it to try and regain some momentum and put themselves back in the game before we head into the third period. Of course, floorball is a fast-paced, high-energy sport where absolutely anything can happen. A 3-goal deficit is nothing compared to the comebacks we've seen this season in the NAFL. Al Roila. He'll have Tita Salakangas in center. Instead, he'll go to Julius Salakangas. Back down Roila, cross court, he's got Hiltonen. Hiltonen behind himself. Tita Salakangas, the sweep shot from deep, saved by Slad. The Hiltonen rebound also saved. Kalle Harstedt fighting hard on the boards. He'll draw a free hit for the Aviators. Harstedt down to Nilsson. Back to Harstedt, looking down deep. He'll find Kalle Brorsen. Nilsson over to Harstedt. Holding on to the ball. He needs someone to pass to. The Minnesota defense is extended wide to meet them. Cross court pass to Brorsen. Sailed wide off the boards. He's still got it, however. He'll get to the Lundmark. He'll lose control. Brorson trying to get it somewhere, but Julius Salakangis comes away with it. Ilmari Lehtinen in Ohio territory. Smooth moves around. Hardstead coming behind the goal. He tried for it, but Mellon able to box him out. The close call after Peter Schlott was overextended. Now Salakangis almost trying for a Michigan there, but Hardstead able to push him to the boards. We'll get it back to Ilmari Lehtinen behind the goal, facing off against Nilsson. Lehtinen pushed out of bounds there. Salakangis to Lehtinen. Stolen by Zach Mellon. Chipped high in the air by Yipao Roila. It's going to be a penalty call on Al Roila for that high hit in the middle of the court with 1:46 remaining in the second period. He's still discussing with referee Yanni Shilren. Meanwhile, Hannes Carlson talking with referee Peter Gustafsson on the close side. Al Roila heading out for 2 minutes now. He doesn't seem to be too pleased about that call, and it means to close out the second period. The Ohio Aviators about to enter power play. Could be exactly what they need. Zach Mellon now speaking with Yanni Shilren as he gets set to take the hit to lead the Aviators into power play. Hannes Carlson, far side, working with Lundmark. To Mellon at the point, down to Brorson. Ohio already coming out with some fast perimeter passing for their power play offense. Hannes Carlson shot saved by Pasi Järvinen. Järvinen in his second year in the league, second year as goalkeeper for the Minnesota Growlers. And now it'll be Minnesota hit here. 49 seconds left in the second period as Minnesota gets set to take this. Still down a man in power play. Tito Salakangis. The pass to Hiltonen, close side, facing pressure from Hardstead, who's able to box him out on the boards for the possession battle. Philip Lundmark to Zach Mellon. We'll go to Hannes Carlson. Mellon to Carlson. Hannes Carlson working with Philip Lundmark on the far side. Hiltonen getting low there for the Minnesota Growlers box defense. Mellon at the point to Carlson. 20 seconds left. The shot by Lundmark just rejected by the left post. Close call there, nearly a power play goal. Marcus Lane, far side, facing off against Lundmark. Lundmark able to come away with it in the center lane, the spin around. Time for one shot, and it sails out. Went out off the body of Hiltonen. And with that, your score at the end of the second period, it's Ohio Aviators 3, Minnesota Growlers 6. And what was another high-octane period of play between these two teams vying for an edge in the playoff standings. Floorball fans will be back in less than 10 minutes with the exciting third period conclusion. And of course, stay tuned during the intermission as we bring you another exclusive NAFL player interview. Well, welcome back, Floorball fans, as we get set to head back down to the court for the third period between the Aviators and the Growlers. But first, we'd like to remind you about our sponsors. First, the Finnish Bistro. The Finnish Bistro is a beloved local gem offering a full-service coffee bar, authentic European cuisine, and a delightful bakery. Whether you're in the mood for a rich cup of coffee, a delectable pastry, or a hearty European meal, the Finnish Bistro has something to satisfy every palate. Located at 2264 Como Avenue in St. Paul, Minnesota, we invite you to explore the delicious offerings at the Finnish Bistro. Of course, we also have our official clothing partner for the 2024 season, Kempa. If you like what our referees are wearing, then you like Kempa. And our official floorball partnership for the 2024 season, bringing you the latest in floorball technology in beautiful Swiss media yellow, it's Batpipe. And a reminder, if you're curious about the statistics to this or any other NAFL game, past, present, or future, you can always go online to sportninja.com or download the Sport Ninja app from the App Store to view them. As we get set for the third period, it's certainly not time to count the Ohio Aviators out just yet. This is a team that has always shown determination in the third period. They are finishers through and through, and they're going to look to bring that prowess here to the matchup. Of course, the last time they faced the Growlers, they also had to come from behind to force an overtime and penalty shootout. Given their grit, determination, and hunger for a win today, it's certainly going to be a great period to watch. Shot attempt early already by Kalev Rorson, deflected. The ball gets out to Kana Harstead as Lundmark. A little slow to get up there on the boards. Chipped away by Yipao Roila. For the Minnesota Growlers, they have an opportunity here to sink even further into their passing system and reveal why they deserve a chance at the Troy Cup this season. They're currently at third in the rankings as we came into it today. They have a chance to put themselves in even better position with a win here over the Aviators. Meanwhile, the Aviators with a win today would put themselves back squarely into the middle of the pack after being fifth heading into play today. Lundmark goes with a pass to Nilsson, looking for Mellon, but it's chipped by Hilton and goes into the hands of Pasi Arvinen. The far side, Salakangas. That ball deflected off the body of Zach Mellon. It'll be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. Tita Salakangas. To Julius Salakangas, far side, Yipao Roila. We go far side to Al Roila again. Conservative defense here from the Ohio Aviators. Far side, Tuukka Hiltunen now. Coming into the center lane. A pass behind himself. Salakangas goes far to Al Roila. Down deep around the bend. Lehtinen looking for Tita Salakangas. Albin Nilsson able to get there first. Around the boards, it'll go to Kala Harstead. Minnesota retreating now. Justin Knight coming in, as well as the rest of the second line here for the Ohio Aviators. Okeson in the center, Grenipin. Shot goes off the stick there of Yipao Roila. To the boards, and back to the boards at the hands of Yipao Roila. Grenipin boxing out Etuletanimi. The cross-court pass finds Julius Salakangas. The Growlers were in the process of an incomplete substitution to their second line. They'll finish it now as Tuukka Korhonen at the helm of this Growlers offense. Juuso Lehtiniemi. Back to Tuukka Korhonen, far side, Etuletanimi. Tuukka Korhonen at the point. Down to Emily Bjerninen. Far side, Mile Mothaler. Back to Korhonen. Mothaler in the center, far side, finds Bjerninen, shot with power, goes off the legs there of Justin Knight, the Knight Rider. Bjerninen breaking around Justin Knight. He'll pass out to Korhonen. Looking across, Okeson jumping the passing lane and able to chip it deep into Minnesota territory. Mile Mothaler recovering. Grenipin going to cut back here. First line returning to the court here for the Ohio Aviators. Julius Salakangas with a pass to Yipao Roila. Justin Knight going to stay on the court and not substitute, given how dangerous Ilmari Lehtinen can be that close to the goal. Peter Slaan sends it to Albin Nilsson. Now Kala Harstead in for the first line of the Ohio Aviators. That shot deflected off the body of Julius Salakangas. Far side, Lehtinen. That pass intercepted by Lundmark, intended for Hilton, and Lundmark driving down, trying to get it to Mellon on the wing. It's off the legs of Royla. Brorsen recovering. He'll get it to Nilsson, to Harstedt. Looking down, shot attempt just wide left. Salakangas ball deflected by Brorsen to Lundmark. To Mellon, just off the right post. He's not happy about that one. Given how few shots on goal the Ohio Aviators have had this match, only 15 so far to this point. That means every offensive look they have at the net that they miss is even more critical as we head towards the last 15 minutes of the match, still facing a 3-goal deficit. Tuukka Korhonen off the backboards will go to Juuso Lehtiniemi. Lehtiniemi losing sight of the ball behind himself. He'll take possession back, coming in center lane, deep pass. Finds Korhonen off the boards. Lehtiniemi back to Korhonen. To Juuso Lehtiniemi, saved by Peter Slad. Grenopen's ball chipped away. Emily Bjernen now. 2-on-2, he's driving down. Slad forcing him behind the goal. Nilsson now coming for support. Both of them losing sight of the ball. Nilsson able to come away with it with the pass to number 21, Sebastian Åkesson to Grenopen in the center. Behind himself, Nilsson able to field it around Korhonen, but he'll lose it by Juuso Lehtiniemi. Down to Emily Bjernen. Korhonen now behind the goal. He'll come to J-Paul Roila. Back to Tuukka Korhonen. Hiltunen far side, working with Lehtinen. Down to Julia Salakangas, less than 15 minutes left in the third period. That ball chipped up in the air. Zach Mellon with a look. Saved by Pasi Arvinen. A critical one at that. Tuukka Hiltunen now to Tita Salakangas. Shot from deep, saved by Peter Slad. Both offenses trading blows here in the third period. Thomas Kortmach pausing here. He'll come to Albin Nilsson close side. Nilsson to Harstedt. Lundmark in the center. He'll shoot. It's deflected off the body of Al Roila. It's going to be a free hit awarded here to the Aviators in the far corner. Brorsen and Lundmark, teammates from day one in the NAFL, set to take it together. That ball out of bounds off the body of Hiltunen. Every member of this line has played together in the NAFL before. They all started the first season for the Utah Raptors. Lundmark, Brorsen, Mellon, Harstedt, and Nilsson. All players in the inaugural season staying together still on this Ohio Aviators team. And now that they're all on the same line for the Aviators, it'll be interesting to see how that passing chemistry is able to help them out as we head into the last minutes of the match here, and they look to mount a comeback. Tita Salakangas to Al Roila. The ball sent to the far boards. Brorsen still trying to pursue, but he overextends himself. The pass makes it all the way down to number 10, Lamari Lehtinen, trying to get the angle around. Kalle Harstedt will send it behind himself to the backboard. Zach Mellon there to recover. No one from the Growlers going to contest it. Both teams bringing out substitutions here. Albin Nilsson passes it off to Justin Knight. Grenopen goes to Knight. Åkesson back down to Grenopen. Down the line to Walsh. He'll send it back to Grenopen. Walsh backing off a bit here. Far side, Grenopen now with an opportunity. Oh, pass to Knight, deflected off the body of Korhonen. Juuso Lehtiniemi going to the ground there off contact with Åkesson. Bjernen a smooth spin around, but Knight forcing him to the boards. He'll go across. Mile Mothaler shoots wide left. Grenopen back to Knight. In center. Won't be able to get the angle on Mothaler or go behind himself to Walsh. Knight looks down to Grenopen. Åkesson. Ball intended for Carlson. Finds its way to Tuukka Korhonen. He'll pause as the Growlers bring in more substitutions. Looks like a shortened line system here for both teams. Al Roila to Salakangas. Auroila back down to Salakangas. A notable absence for the Ohio Aviators squad is Matt Smith, not in since the second period. Perhaps part of the reason for the shortened lines from the Aviators. Auroila far side to Hiltonen, down to Lamari Lehtinen. Was saved there by the net. Nilsson takes the pass intended for Lehtinen around the bend. Mellon on the close wing. He had to stop too much to field that ball. Tita Salakangas driving down. Can he come from behind for the Michigan? Peter Slad says no. Close call there. The Aviators need all the defense they can get against this high-power Minnesota Growlers offense if they want to keep the comeback hopes alive. Deep pass. It'll go to the boards. Mellon. He'll find Lundmark. Trying to get around Julius Salakangas, who has the superior wingspan. He's able to do it. He passes back to Mellon. To Kalle Harstedt. Kalle Brorsen from the far wing puts one in. The Ohio Aviators first to strike here in the third period. 11 minutes left. And now Brorsen putting them one step closer. It was Lundmark breaking it away from Salakangas. He got it down to Mellon. Brorsen had been in the crease. But after the ball went back into their own territory, he flexed to the far side and sent it in behind himself on a quick goal that Pasi Arvinen wasn't expecting. Kalle Brorsen able to bring the Aviators one goal closer to a comeback. Your score, Ohio 4, Minnesota 6. Mothaler to Kortman. Down to Juuso Lehtiniemi, gets it around Thomas Kortmans. Eetu Lehtiniemi. Trying to get the angle on Österström. Unable to so far. He'll have to pass Björninen. Now to Mothaler. Shot attempt goes off the body of Österström. Kicked around there by Grenipen. Björninen able to break through. But Kortmans able to stop him up on the close wing. He'll come away with it handily and pass to Felix Österström. Just over 10 minutes remain here in the third period. The Aviators in the middle of a comeback attempt. Advantage granted to Ohio. Hannes Carlson needing a man to pass to. The free hit's going to be called here for the Ohio Aviators in Minnesota territory. Andreas Blixt, number 24 of the Ohio Aviators this period, staying off, instead wearing his famous Le Blixt coach t-shirt as he guides this team to a hopeful victory against a Growler squad they felt they should have been able to beat earlier in the season. But of course, Minnesota has been on a hot streak. They've been a more focused team the second half of the season. They've realized why they're here, and that's the Troy Cup. 2-on-1. Ilmari Lehtinen with a little bit too much force and momentum. He sent the ball wild into the stick of Kalle Harstedt. Mellon to Harstedt. Officially less than 10 minutes left in regulation. Shot by Brorsen, saved by Pasi Arvinen, and out to Brorsen again, this time saved off of Auroila. Brorsen nearly getting another look, but the referee's going to call a free hit here for the Growlers. Ipa Auroila coming to take the free hit. Salakangas sends it deep off the boards to Lehtinen. Hiltonen back to Lehtinen. Looking cross court for Tita Salakangas. Lundmark able to stop it up. If Ohio can continue to stop those cross court passes over the middle, that's the number one scoring look that the Growlers use. They always look cross court down the wing before they try for a score. That pass intended for Auroila sailing wide. Nilsson and Auroila both going to the boards. No call here, 2-on-1. Chip down, Tita Salakangas with more energy than Kalle Brorsen, able to recover it here for the Minnesota Growlers as he'll come off and Eetu Lehtiniemi comes in. Korhonen now holding back, he'll pass to Juuso Lehtiniemi. Back Korhonen to Eetu Lehtiniemi, deep in Ohio territory. The ball chipped up, back into Growlers territory. He'll drive again, far side. Lehtiniemi now behind the Ohio goal, looking for a man. He'll find Mile Mothaler. Grenipen coming in for support, able to chip the ball out and around. Grenoble now holding it behind the goal line. He passes to Alvin Nilsson to Justin Knight. 8.5 minutes left in the third. 2 goals still to go to equalize here for the Aviators. Taylor Walsh goes far side. Hannes Carlson losing some control. Mile Mothaler trying to get there first on the boards. Grenoble again coming to screen for support, but he's able to get it behind himself. Korhonen back to Mothaler. Gets the angle on Grenoble, sends it to the far boards. He'll box out Åkesson, so Juuso-Lehtiniemi can get there. And now Mile Mothaler with an open look. He'll chip it in the center to Emily Björninen, who spins back around. Subs in now for both teams. Auroila, team captain for the second year for this Growlers squad, coming in on the far wing. Hiltunen to Lehtinen. The same passing connection the Growlers relied upon last season. Also coming in big here. Hiltunen unable to get the shot attempt off. Free hit here for Ohio. Kalle Brorsen getting ready to pass it off. He'll go to Schlad, back to himself. Off the foot of his own man, Nilsson. He'll pass behind himself to Kalle Harstedt as he gets set down deep in Minnesota territory. Harstedt to Mellon. Back to Harstedt. Far side, Alvin Nilsson. Nilsson looking across. Philip Lundmark to Brorsen. The chip high and angled too wide to the left. Sailing out of bounds. It's a hit in here for the Minnesota Growlers. The Aviators have slowly but surely been catching up to Minnesota in terms of shots on goal. Now at 19 compared to the Growlers' 24. But one is all Minnesota needs. Eetu Lehtiniemi puts one away to re-extend the Growlers' lead. And on the far side, Brorsen trying to break it out around Auroila. Unable to create a possession there. And of course, Minnesota now with the 4-goal lead over the Aviators, making their chance of a comeback even more grim. Cross court to Juuso-Lehtiniemi. Trying to get the angle around Grenapin. Chipped away. Battle on the boards, 2-on-1. Juuso Lehtiniemi losing his balance. Taylor Walsh driving down here for the Aviators. Chipped off the body of Tuukka Korhonen. Back down, Juuso Lehtiniemi able to get there, a pass behind himself. Praying someone finds it, his brother will, but the shot goes off the body of Cedric Grenapin. Less than 5 minutes remain now in the third period. Knight to Karlsson. Deflected off the body of Juuso Lehtiniemi. Chipped up by Åkesson. Karlsson getting around. Ball sailing out of bounds. It's going to be ruled a hit in for the Ohio Aviators. Deflected off the body of Auroila. Korhonen goes back to Mothaler. Jipa Auroila. Taking it slow on the far wing. Hannes Karlsson coming up behind him on the lane. In the center, Ilmari Lehtinen losing some control after he tried to field that pass. He'll send it out on a hope and a prayer. It finds its way to Jipa Auroila. Titus Alakangas, close side, sends it off the backboards, looking for Lehtinen. Knight able to get there first. The Knight Rider breaking it out now on the far wing. Grenapin in center. Knight far side, back down to El Pistolero, Hannes Karlsson. Coach Andreas Leblixt calling for a change here from his team. Substitutions in now for the Ohio squad. Hannes Karlsson with a spinning, incredibly backspun pass to Harstead. Far side to Brorsson. Hilton nearly releasing from the zone there. Pass down deep, finds Philip Lundmark. Hannes Karlsson trying to get it around Titus Alakangas. 3.5 minutes remaining. Lundmark shot saved off the leg of Pasi Arvinen. Goes off the boards. Ilmari Lehtinen shot just saved by Peter Schlad as he came in off of the empty net. He'll come back out. Kalle Harstedt back in. 6-on-5 play here between the Aviators and the Growlers. Hannes Karlsson, close side to Harstedt. Brorsson on the wing. He'll go across. That ball deflected off the body of Lehtiniemi. Hannes Karlsson will get it back out to Harstedt. Brorsson wants some space. Shot saved by Pasi Arvinen. Auroila sends it down deep. Harstedt fields it. Pierinen backing off there for the Growlers. Less than 3 minutes now. Karlsson to Lundmark. He's got Nilsson tight in the crease, but that pass deflected off the foot of Auroila. It'll be a face-off. Looks like the ball went off the body of referee Peter Gustafsson. Albin Nilsson now sends it out on a gentleman's hit. It'll be Tuukka Korhonen with the hit in here for the Growlers. He'll send it in center space. Harstedt recovering. He'll get the angle on Lehtinen. Schlad out. He'll bring Hannes Karlsson in. Karlsson working there with Kalle Harstedt. He's got Brorsson far side. He'll go back to Harstedt instead. Down the line to Lundmark. Back out to Harstedt at the point. Far side, Brorsson. He's been a sharpshooter all day, but he'll wait and pass instead. Nilsson, pass intercepted by Salakangas, but he's able to get it to Mellon. Just saved by Järvinen. Lundmark trying to get something off. Korhonen on the sweep away, but Lundmark takes it right back. The pass behind himself. Hannes Karlsson is waiting. Shot saved off the leg of Järvinen. Less than 2 minutes left in the match. Harstedt at the point. Far side, Brorsson goes off the leg there of Niall Mothaler. It's going to be a hit in for the Aviators, wasting no time. Karlsson shot wide left behind the post. Brorsson on Korhonen. Two physical players. Korhonen will go over the boards there. A little slow to get up, but he's up on his feet. 1:35 left in the match. It'll be Jipa Auroila set to take it here for Minnesota. Auroila. Salakangas looking down deep for Hiltonen. Nilsson able to get the edge. A pass behind himself. Harstedt now against Hiltonen. The ball sent out of bounds. 1:25 on the clock. It's going to be an Aviators hit in. Kalle Harstedt set to take it. To Lundmark. Back to Harstedt. Far side. Kalle Brorsson to Lundmark. Chipped away. Hannes Carlson against Eteletanimi. On the close boards, gets it to Lundmark in the center. Far side, Brorson. Too much backspin, the ball sailing too high out of bounds. It's going to be an Aviators hit-in. Arstedt to Lundmark. Shot from deep off the body of Mothaler. 1 minute left. 6 on 5 plays still going here between the Aviators and the Growlers. An empty net. Emily Bjernanen to Mile Mothaler on the empty net score. And now Valtteri Rantala able to get to the ball behind the Aviators' goal. Less than 10 seconds on the clock. He'll get it around Knight. Unable to get one last shot off. Peter Slot's going to hold on to it as time expires. With that, your final score here, live from F&M Bank Arena in Clarksville, Tennessee. It's Ohio Aviators 4, Minnesota Growlers 9, as they propel themselves even further, both into playoff form and in the playoff rankings. A hard-fought battle of floorball indeed, but the Growlers with a far steadier lead than they enjoyed the last time these two teams met. Floorball fans, thank you so much for joining us. Don't worry, we're going to be back with more NAFL action next week as we hit the road and head north to Duluth, Minnesota on Lake Superior for the third week of the regular season and the playoff weekend as we get to see who will move ahead and win the Troy Cup. Of course, stay on the stream as we'll bring you an exclusive NAFL post-game interview before we get set to back up and head north.